Hi,
Hi,
here we are. It is 2021.
it
Happy New
is.
Year. Yeah. We're so happy to be back with you. And so today we thought we would talk a little bit about resolutions and commitment and how all that works out. And it's interesting that someone was telling us there was a poll done on people and their New Year's resolutions and how long they last. And it was so surprising. I think it was something like 17 days
Yes, 17.
is how long people stick with their resolutions. And so we were thinking, well, how is that? What's up with that? We had a lovely conversation with a client yesterday about commitment and how there are kind of like really two types of commitment.
One is willpower, determination. We've all experienced that. And that's the one that usually lasts about 17 days and is the underpinning of why there's such poor success with diets in today's world. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's kind of the foundation of so many diet regimens, food and lifestyle programs. It's knowing what's right and then doing it, white knuckle through it.
Yeah. And then the other is when we have a true change of heart, then there is this depth of commitment that is ongoing. It's a beautiful experience, and we've all experienced both.
Yeah, it's almost like they're almost like opposites. The one is I use my mind, my willpower, and my intelligence because I know which is better for me and which isn't to try and steer my course to navigate life. And the other one, there's a change of heart. It's like I'm drawn into it. I'm propelled into it. And what came to my mind is it's kind of the contrast that we brought up last week when we shared that poem by Rumi that says, out beyond the ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. And that first form of commitment is all in that realm of right doing and wrong doing. I have this draw to have a chocolate chip cookie and I'm not even hungry. And I go, oh no, that's wrong. I got to do what's right, And so we pull ourselves, we steer ourselves, we try to navigate our lives based on these ideas of right doing and wrong doing. And they can have results. I mean, we've all done programs and really stuck it out, and there was benefit, but there was also a lot of struggle. And how what Kanye was saying, when there's a change of heart, that's when we move beyond those ideas of right doing and wrong doing. It's no longer about what's right and what's wrong, it's just what's obvious to do. And that's so beautiful because that's not necessarily without challenge, but it's without all of the uh, suffering of a busy mind, the difficulties, the emotional and psychological stress that I create in my mind because I'm battling these ideas of right and wrong.
Yeah, it's like when we are making change from heart, knowing a change of heart, we get curious and we get present with life. And all these doorways open up that we hadn't even anticipated or expected in any way. And when we drop out of our busy mind thinking, it's easier to get present. And from there, we can get these inner nudges that we've spoken about so many times from our wisdom, from the wisdom that actually creates creation. It's such a resource that we have available.
Yeah, so when we find ourselves in that struggle point of knowing what's right, but being so compelled to do what's showing up and I'm compelled to do, which isn't as healthy or beneficial in my life, if we recognize that this is what's going on, I'm kind of locked into this struggle of what's right and what's wrong. And actually, there is this field beyond ideas of right and wrong that is always available to us. And what Connie's saying, if we pause and take a moment and get curious, what's really happening right now? what is in this moment right now? Lots of times in that pause, there is this opening, there is this change of heart that comes. And from there, we can easily just give ourselves to that. Or, as we've often shared, if we decide to go the fast food route or the chocolate chips or bag of pretzels, whatever it is, if we don't get caught up in the right and wrong of that either, and we say, okay, I'm deciding to do this because this is what I want to do right now, and we eat that food with presence and really love it and really just open to it, that creates a whole new experience as well that tends to help break the cycle of relying on that behavior as a solution to what was going on in my life, the pressure or tension I was feeling, and looking to food to relieve.
Yeah, that's really true. It's like we have this opportunity every single moment to get curious and present with food, with everything in our lives. And from there, all the riches, all the gifts that are possible in this life are truly available. And the more you play in that, the more you experience it. You don't need anyone else to invite you there. You know it's yours.
Well, and when I look back at my life, I've experienced all that.
Yeah.
I know both sides of the tracks.
Yeah, for sure. We all do.
And it's just as I learn more about how this works, how life works, the nature of the mind, it makes it easier and easier to drop into that space that is free of ideas of right and wrong. And there's a quote that I heard years ago. I just love Joseph Campbell's about follow your bliss. And I thought I'd read a little bit of that because it speaks to this as well. If you follow your bliss, you put yourself on a kind of track that has been there all the while, waiting for you. And the life you ought to be living is the one you are living. Follow your bliss, and doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. Doors will open for you that wouldn't have opened for anyone else. And that's just so inspiring to me. And yet it's also a statement of how life works. I can look back on my life and see those moments when I followed this commitment from a change of heart, when I followed my bliss, and solutions and people came out of the woodwork in support. And I think we've all experienced this. This is a statement of how life works. And it is a greater influence in my life, where it occurs more frequently in my life, the more I'm willing to be present and open and out in that field beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing.
Now, recipe?
Yeah.
Okay, recipe. I think what I'll send you is Thai pad Thai. It's so good.
That's so good.
I encourage you to pick up the ingredients and try it. One of the keys is the brown rice noodles. They really make a difference. So
I thought so. Yeah.
Try that.
Yeah.
They're usually available at most health food stores.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.